They were rooting me on and shit. I had the psych ward going crazy, man. Ninjas came to Taco Bell, abducted me, and now I'm being held against my will. Our stuff in our pockets full of underwear, bras, stuff like that. I am a good, dumb person. There's this stuff called Astroglide. I hear good things. Thank you for sharing.
Welcome to The Recovery Idiot. Please like and subscribe and visit therecoveryidiot.com, home of the Recovery Idiot Store. Please follow us on all the social medias before they are banned. The following contains explicit language and situations that some might find unsettling. Viewer discretion is advised. Whoop, whoop.
Mic check.
Fatty. Well, now that makes you look like a midget.
So?
Or it makes me look really fat.
You are really fat.
Oh, that's why.
Weird shaped head.
How is it a weird shaped head? It's...
You look like one of those stress...
stressful.
Yeah, you know, the ones with the ear pop out?
And the eyes.
Yeah, that's what you look like.
I'll take that. That ain't that bad. If anyone who doesn't know who Panda was, he was the first person on the Recovery who got his own little introduction song, which created a monster of everybody wanting their own introduction song, which led me to making other songs about just, you know, the trash can topics that run my life. But you are the original. The Panda is a Juggalo. And I made that in like 15 seconds.
AI made that. Don't let him fucking take credit for that.
Yeah, because it just all does itself. You have to fucking type it in. You have to give it prompts. You have to tell it what style. You have to write the words, and they have to be not gay. There's a lot of work into using an AI program to make it good. If it's that easy, go do it.
I can write a better song than I make.
Then do it.
Okay, fine.
Write your own song, and I'll make a video for it. You got 2 hours.
I got 2 hours to write a song?
Yes.
I gotta go do yard work.
So you were the first person that got their little song, and you were here in the original studio, which is my bedroom. That was the Section 8 studio. This is the Section 9 studio. And now you're back, and for people who don't know you, who are you?
Tyler.
No.
That's my name.
I know, but it doesn't feel right.
Fine, Panda, Pandemic, Panda Ram, the man with the plan, Panda.
Thank you, Panda.
You better ask somebody, and if they don't know me, they about to. My name is Tyler, a.k.a. Panda, and I always felt like I had to have something different, whether it be alcohol, drugs. I always had to feel different. I didn't like the way that I felt inside, and I had an internal battle that I constantly had a spinning mind, and it was a ball of anxiety and depression, and I would drink and use drugs to numb that feeling, and it always made it worse. It just exacerbated everything and made everything terrible, and it was never fun. It was always me chasing to numb my feelings in the way that I didn't feel received by people, and I didn't feel accepted by individuals that I grew up around.
Isn't that normal?
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, for I guess us it is. But do normal people not understand what that feels like?
I mean, I even went to a church that was mostly, you know, not white people. And I got jumped in youth group. I can remember being on the school bus listening to Grand Funk Railroad on a CD player, being made fun of for not listening to rap music. And it started there when I was like, I went home to my grandpa and I was like, I need a rap CD. And he bought me the Slim Shady LP. So.
And did the non-white people make fun of you because you listened to a white rapper?
No, actually, Eminem was the shit.
That is true. He still is to an extent. Once you have that much money to be a sellout, it's okay to be a sellout.
I said show off, not sellout.
I still think if you're going to be anti-politics, you got to be anti all the politics. You can't pick it. That's just my opinion. It makes everybody crazy. It just never stops. Never stops. The world needs to realize Joe Biden was our best bet. For people who may not have seen Panda the first time around, there's another video with a little background on you. Some psychosis, I believe. Some living in a car.
Yeah.
Various other interesting adventures. But in between the last time you were here and today, some stuff has happened.
Yeah, I drank myself into liver failure.
Why not give a little brief, detailed synopsis of what happened in between? And I think there was more than one. So he's saying the big book, going out and doing further research.
Further research.
Didn't you have to do further research a couple times?
Well, let's just say that it was a little, what do they call it, Q&R? R&R? I don't know what they call it.
Research and development?
Yeah.
R&D?
R&D, yeah. 'Cause I'm not a psychiatrist, but I've been known to partake in some psychiatry or therapy or whatever you want to call it. I need help more than just what I get in the rooms. But you could say that I went back out a couple of times, and it always was started off with weed. It always started off with marijuana. I'd be like, oh, I can just smoke pot. But, because I grew up smoking pot. But I forget that weed gives me anxiety. And I like to drink because I have anxiety. And then I drink, and guess what it causes me? Anxiety. So, on top of all the medications I'm on, it tries to keep my anxiety at bay, but I still suffer from what do they call it? Anxiety. So the fact that I have anxiety gives me anxiety.
Me thinking about my anxiety gives me more anxiety.
Now that I actually took some suggestions that I've heard in the rooms, like the prayer thing, I actually started implementing into my life upon awakening, which I never did before.
Really?
Yeah. And I don't know, man. I was at work one day, and I was out there with a blower on my back, and I'm happy as shit for no reason. And I looked at, internally, and I'm like, yo, I feel like I'm floating right now. And I just tied that up to it's God working in my life, because now I don't feel, I can walk past the beer section in the fucking not liquor store, but the gas station, and not even flinch at it. I mean, I went back home to go visit my family. My grandmother has some health issues. That's the woman that raised me. And I went up there thinking that I was going to be hurting inside and I was going to be all a mess, but really I was fine. Watching these people get all drunk, it was kind of funny to me because I was really, really annoyed. Like, we paid for unlimited bowling, and we bowled a game and a half in 2 hours. My best friend's son, who's like 7, out-bowled all the adults with bumpers and a ramp.
So you're saying that alcohol doesn't make them better bowlers?
I was talking a lot of shit when we went bowling. I'm like, I did really good last year when we went for DAA. I bowled like 100 something. I'm like, cool. I don't think I broke 60 that night. Just gutter ball. As soon as we got there, they started ordering pitchers and drinks, and they all went outside. They kept going outside to smoke, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna bowl for them. And everybody comes back to the thing, and they see that all they have is a bunch of gutter balls. They're like, you're sabotaging my game. I'm like, nah, I was just trying to practice, and I just couldn't hit a pin to save my life. Plus, I was really manic that night for no reason.
Well, there is a reason, because you're a psychotic person. A lot of us need further assistance than just AA, which usually means some sort of medication.
Yeah.
And I've heard this brought up at a meeting the other day. Some sponsor told his sponsee that he wasn't sober until he stopped taking his psych med.
Yeah, you don't want...
You know how that turned out.
Yeah.
But it brings up a valuable point that we can't really work the steps and have them work for us unless we address our mental health issues first. And I'm right in that category. I know. Talk to me about anxiety. Holy shit. If I did not go to a doctor and get on the cocktail of non-narcotic medications to get me through the day, I would not be able to get through the day. And once I can't get through the day, I start bumping into people that have heroin. You know where that leads to. Speedballing, coke, and heroin, and flipping a car over. Sometimes it's a work van and it just goes into a tree.
We ramped the truck into a gas station back where I'm from with like 10 Juggalos in it, covered in ICP stickers. We went to high school with the girl behind the counter, and they go, what the fuck, run? And everybody dips out. Like, out of like 10 people, 2 got arrested.
That's pretty good odds. Yeah. That means 8 people got away. That's great.
Well, allegedly.
Yes, everything's
allegedly.
So you said something before about liver failure. You were doing research and development.
Yeah.
And your liver didn't agree?
No. I relapsed, and I went out for like 2 months, just 2 months. And in those 2 months, I drank to the point where, when you're going through alcohol withdrawals and you're shaking and you're dry heaving so bad and all you want to do is take a drink, well, my body wouldn't even allow me to take that drink. It was rejecting all the alcohol I'd put into it. It was rejecting water. I didn't even try food because you got me all the way fucked up. I think I'm going to try to drink it. And this girl that I'm talking to, she taught me into going to the hospital. And when I went into the hospital, I blew a .42, something like that, on the breathalyzer. And I don't recall any of this night, by the way. I just know what she's told me.
A .42? Didn't you die from like a .2?
Yeah. And, I was drinking White Claw.
That's it?
That's all I was drinking.
Wow.
They make an 8%,
I heard the flavors are good.
It's just not as filling as a beer. If I'm sitting there drinking beer and vodka, I'd fill up and get all bloated. And then my alcoholic mind was like, oh, it's water, so it's going to absorb into my bloodstream faster because it's water. So I get drunk faster. So I just started buying these White Claws. They're like $3 a pop. I was buying like 20 of them a day. And then I was drinking my vodka too. I like to have my vodka.
Well, you have to.
Well, that's my breakfast. That's just... Now, upon awakening, I pray, but upon awakening, awakening then. It was, I need a pint of vodka to get me out of bed, to get me to the store, to get another whatever I'm going to drink for the day.
That's the breakfast of champion.
Vodka?
Yes.
And it's funny because, like, I used to specifically drink whiskey and, like, Jaeger, like, dark, or tequila. Like, I love tequila. But as normal alcoholics, like, I know a lot of alcoholics that at the end of their drinking, it was vodka. Because they say, I've heard this by a lot of people, you can't smell vodka. And I can say that for the years I was working at the landscaping company that I was working for when I was in full-blown active alcoholism, I drank vodka every morning, and she never called me out on it. The first morning I drank Hennessy before going into work, she was like, you smell like a brewer. So I was like, maybe the vodka thing is real. But I can specifically remember being at a 4th of July party like 3 years ago where I was the only sober one there, and all they were drinking was vodka, and I smelt it. So I'm like, oh, I guess that's a wise tale, or I don't know, you should call Mythbusters. Maybe they'll run an episode on that. Just feed them all alcohol and send them out in the public. It'd be probably a good episode. If they're watching this.
They did it on Seinfeld once with...
The scotch.
Yes.
He's like, Bennigan's. Oh, I can't do the Kramer, man, but he's like, scotch, and I don't even smell. He said, scotch.
The no smell, the no tell. It'll just
like,
be
no
our
smell,
little secret.
No tell, scotch.
And they start singing Hennigan. It's like, hey, Jai,
Hennigan's, yeah.
hey.
Hennigan's. I'm drinking Hennigan's and I don't smell. He's like, no smell, no tell, scotch. I love the Seinfeld, man.
I literally watch it every day. That's how I go to sleep at night. I put Netflix on and just let Seinfeld play.
I don't have Netflix, but I have my phone. And then my algorithm is all Seinfeld. And I send it to my girl, and she doesn't even open them. She's like, I'm not watching any of your Seinfeld memes. And I'm like, they're the funniest ones I've
It's
seen.
the greatest thing that ever existed in anyone's lifetime, was Seinfeld being a show and us getting to live through it as it happened.
Talk about a hole in one, huh? Is that a title list? I'm a big Always Sunny guy, too. Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
You know, I really like that, but when I watch, I'm always doing something else, so I get distracted, and then I miss, like, a big part of the show. And
I sleep to that a lot. The intro music that is just embedded into my brain, so when I hear it, I know it's time to go to sleep.
That's what is with me in Seinfeld. And I'll hear the little opening, Jerry doing his stand-up, and then by the time of the first scene, I'm already snoring. So you're drinking vodka in the morning, you're pounding White Claws all day. What happened to your liver?
It shriveled up.
Well, I mean, did you start feeling sick?
Start feeling? What do you mean? Like,
was there a moment
besides how I already felt every time I woke up?
Yes, like, oh, this is different.
Yeah, when I couldn't even stomach a beer. I'm like, okay, this must be the 8% that's causing me all this extra problem. I'm gonna start just go drink a Corona. And I take a sip, and my esophagus was so messed up from all the alcohol that was pouring on it, it wouldn't even allow me to swallow it. Like, I couldn't swallow. It was like that. Like, I couldn't take a sip of nothing. It would stop right here. It would go right here, and I'd choke back up. It was bad, man. My body was just rejecting it.
See, that's the good thing about being an IV drug user. My veins never said no.
Unless
They
I
never
couldn't find
rejected
one.
it. That is true. Look at this thing. That's always out. Okay, it wasn't when I was getting high, but you know the point.
Yeah, because you're hydrated right now.
Yes! No one ever told me that was the big secret. I get sober, then I find out if you're hydrated, your veins pop out. It's like, shit, well, I couldn't buy anything to drink because all my money was going to drugs. Of course I was dehydrated.
Dude, I went home last week and I walked into the gas station and I saw a meme the other day that said that nobody saw you at your worst except for the gas station by your house. I walked into the gas station that I used to front from all the time, and when they saw me, it was with my girl and my sister. Dude, they were so happy to see me, and they were like, you look so good. They looked at my girl and they said, this is like our brother right here. And I'm like, yeah, because y'all see me more than anybody. Because my alcoholic thinking used to be like, I'm going to just go buy 2 6-packs. I'm going to go grab 2 6-packs of Bud Ice, and I'm going to drink that tonight. Walk back to the house. I wouldn't even drive there. I'd walk to the store. That way, I wouldn't want to walk again. But as soon as those 6-packs were gone in like an hour and a half, I got to walk again. It got to the point where it'd be like past the time that he's allowed to sell to us, and we'd stumble into the store, and he'd be like, "Just nobody's here. Grab it and go, and you pay me back later." I still owe them like $200 something bucks, but they didn't say nothing when I just saw them. So I mean, I'm gonna have to make that amends eventually, but I don't have it right now.
So the girl says something. You got to go to the hospital or what?
She bribed me because I just missed an ICP show in Alabama. There was another ICP show going to Alabama like in a couple weeks, and she said, if you go into this hospital right now, and it was a psych ward, obviously, but she was like, if you go in here, I'll buy the tickets right now. And I went in, and guess what? I never saw ICP.
Is it because she lied or because you were
No, she
stuck
bought
in
the
a psych
tickets.
ward?
I watched her buy the tickets. It's just when I got out, everybody's idea was go to a halfway house. I'm like, well, I went to the halfway house, and then they were like, yeah, you can't go to Alabama right now. I'm sure that now I could, but I couldn't then. And I'm like, well, I guess I'm just not meant to see ICP. And then the gathering happened. And I wasn't at the gathering. I was in Georgia seeing my family during that.
So you go to the psych ward, and what happens? They
Okay, so I get to the psych ward, and I want a piece of nicotine gum so bad. I told the dude, I'm like, yo, let me get a piece of nicotine gum. I know y'all got it. They said no. I swung on the orderly. Right? Took them like 25, 30 minutes to get me down to hit me with the booty juice.
were you drunk when you went in?
Oh, I was smashed. And but like it took because I'm a mosher. I know how to mosh pit, like, you know. So it took dude. Everybody that was in the cycle was like, dude, you gave them a run for their money last night. I was throwing everybody around. I was fighting the security guards, and I do this a lot when I get drunk. I fight security a lot. You can ask my friends. I go down the entry. There's a place back home called the Masquerade. It was a concert venue. I used to fight the security all the time. It took 5 of them to get me down, and then they pinned me down, hit me with the Haldol and the Thorazine, and then they held me down. And then when I woke up the next morning, I was covered in bruises, and I'm like, what the fuck? Why am I hurt? Why do I feel like I got hit by a truck? And everybody starts laughing like, that's the dude! Like, dude, you were the shit last night. They were rooting me on and shit. I had the psych ward going crazy, man. And then, I don't know, I guess I called everybody in my family because I was so drunk, and I said, ninjas came to Taco Bell, grabbed me, and abducted me, and now I'm being held against my will in this facility, and I don't know where I'm at, and I was just in the psych ward. And I don't remember any of it. I just know what people have told me. My uncle, my ex, they're all like, you fucking were saying you got abducted by ninjas or some shit. And I'm like, that sounds like me, but I don't remember any of that. Because in psych wards, they have the free phone. You could just pick up the phone whenever you want. So.
And did you actually remember the numbers, or you had to
I know everybody's numbers.
That's nuts. If I get locked up, I'm so screwed.
I know all the numbers.
I don't know a single number.
I know numbers. If I lost my phone today, everybody whose number I need to have, I already have.
That's insane.
Yeah, my mom, my best friend, my sister. I know everybody's number.
All right, I know one number, and I just learned the number for my AC company.
I remember
after 4 years.
I can remember my dad's pager number from the 90s.
No, I remember 244-8774 from New Jersey in 1993, but I don't remember any modern numbers. Now that they're on the phone, I don't have to remember.
I remember my dad's pager number.
I miss pagers.
Yeah, I'll get to you later.
It's just so cool having that little thing clipped on you and then beep, 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 beep.
I remember my home phone number from when I was a kid. I remember it like it was yesterday.
244-8774.
770-808-9768.
We should call our numbers and see what
I have called the number.
So how long you in the psych ward? I mean, a couple days, a couple weeks?
Close to a week.
All right, that's not bad.
Coral Shores.
Oh, that one.
Yeah. Tried to take somebody there the other week, and he wouldn't go.
I've brought in dozens of people to Coral Shores and picked up a lot less.
It wasn't bad. I mean, I got to say, as far as psych wards go, JFK North is the best one.
Have you been in New Horizons?
Of course.
So is it better than New Horizons?
It's better than New Horizons. Yeah.
All right, that's a good...
But I went to New Horizons for detox. I didn't go to New Horizons psych.
Oh, there's a difference?
Yeah. It was too high. It was like,
was there people that were crazier than you in there?
who are you talking to, bro? You know me? You've known me for a couple years now.
I'm just saying, there's a possibility. Maybe there's...
Man, they could be eating paint chips off the wall. They're still not touching me and my crazy.
You just look at how crazy the crazy.
My thing is I'm contained crazy. You just don't...
Let
me not take my meds for 2 days, and then you'll see the real me. Because then I won't sleep, because I don't sleep without my...
I haven't seen it in full-blown manic psychosis or anything, but I've seen you unmedicated before. Get into that point, and it's pretty unstable and frightening. So you're in the psych ward. You know, did something happen that you made a decision to do something different this time, go somewhere different, make some different phone calls?
I got out of the psych ward. And the night I got out of the psych ward, I went to the water. I went to Sandsburg Park, and I hit my knees, man, and I prayed a real prayer. And that night, something happened that just... I was free. That presence, that God consciousness that they talk about, I felt it, and it was undeniable. And just something happened to me that night. I was lifted, man. I was free. The freedom I feel today when I try to continuously tap into that is unlike anything I can explain. It gives you goosebumps talking about. I don't know if you know who Brian Head Welch is. I know you know who Brian Head Welch is.
Probably.
The old lead guitarist of fucking Korn. Well, he's back.
Oh,
Korn,
yeah.
man. The guy that wrote the book Save Me From Myself or whatever. And he said, I used to get high on drugs, now I get high on God. And that's legit what it is. I go to work and I listen to Christian music now. You know, I know I'm a Juggalo and everything, but I've been listening to a lot of like Corey Ashby and stuff like that. And I started to tap into that God thing, that whatever it is, and it makes me feel like I'm floating at work. I work with this guy that we call Eminem. His name's Mike. We call him Miserable Mike, and I call him Eminem. And he's always trying to piss me off. But like I'll get mad and I'll think about it. And I'm like, look, I'm living a spiritual program now. I'm not gonna react to this like I normally would. And I find a way to navigate my emotions now without lashing out. And I just smile at you and wave, and I'm like, yeah, fuck you. But I won't say fuck you, but I have a way of laughing that shit off now, and I have a way of keeping in my own peace, my own inner peace. And yeah, I'm not gonna give up my inner peace for anybody. And if you were becoming the opposite of my serenity and you're fucking with my serenity, I will cut you off and you will no longer talk. That's just how I roll now. I like to help people, you know, like I like to help the newcomers and stuff, but the second that you start fucking with my inner peace, I'm not gonna fuck with you. I'm gonna help you as much as I can, and I'm gonna pray about you, but I'm gonna pray for you, but I don't want to welcome any negative energy around me anymore. And I'm an empath, so that shit, like, it's like, dude, you're getting your pissy attitude on my clothes, get it off. It's rubbing off on my clothes, I can smell it. It's just not good.
So I don't know if you've ever heard me speak before.
Yes, I have.
Well, I spoke a lot, but I mean a specific fucking thing. I was in jail one day, a couple days after trying to hang myself. I met a guy who told me to pray with him, and I was like, this is so stupid. I'm not doing this. But I thought if I got on his good side, he'd tell me who's got the drug. So I said, fuck it, we'll pray. And after I prayed for that first time and said a real prayer, I had no idea what a real prayer was. I just know that I'm screwed. I can't continue living like this. I'm a mess. I need help. God, just please do something, because I can't do this anymore. The next morning I woke up homeless, license suspended, wife just left me, took my house, lost my job. The only possessions I had in the world was the money that was in my wallet that's on my commissary. But that day I woke up and felt peace for the first time I can ever remember, except maybe when that first Percocet hit in 1997. And I got that feeling that, whoa, this is different. That's how I felt after I prayed. Looking back, I didn't put the two things together. I just thought, well, something's weird. Maybe I detoxed everything. Maybe I'm good. But that happened later. Yet something was just different. And that feeling like floating. Like
the feeling of ease and comfort that comes at once when we take a couple of drinks. That feeling, the one that first drink, that feeling.
Everything's going to be all right.
Yeah. But that shit only lasts like 10, 15 minutes.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, I need more, and I'm depressed, and I'm suicidal, and I end up going to psych wards. See, my story, I don't have a lot of jail spent in my time, because everybody always grabs me and puts me in hospitals or in the nut house. And I gotta say, man, God looked out for me for a long time, drinking and driving, living in my car, you know, and I never got arrested for that. I didn't get arrested for DUI until I moved to Florida. And I was driving up to go almost over the border to Florida, and I got arrested for a DUI at like 9:30 in the morning. And they were going to let me go. The first cop that did the sobriety test on the sobriety test, he
passed the first one?
I passed the shit out of it. He was just going to let me go. And then the senior cop that came up was like, no, he's got a breathalyzer for it.
So you get out of the psych ward, you go to the water, you pray, and something magical happens. You're rocketed into the fourth dimension of existence.
Hearing that.
What did you do after that?
What do you mean?
Did you have Dove's Nest planned out already? Or
No, I got told that I was going to Dove's Nest.
How'd that happen?
My girl was like,
so she just bribed you and everything.
My friend was letting me sleep on her couch, and she was like, no, I think he needs to be in a halfway. Everybody's like, he needs to go to a half. And they all called in favors to I called Blake, and Blake was like, well, when was the last time you had a drink? And I told him when it was, and he laughed. He's like, so you're just not going to drink? I'm like, yeah. He laughed. He's like, yeah, I can.
What a dick.
But Dove's Nest was like, yeah, you can move in, and you know Brian, my house manager. I was still going through the liver problem, so they had me on a liquid diet, and I was only allowed to drink liquid, and I wasn't allowed to eat solid foods. And I'm sitting out in the front yard on my hands and knees, dry heaving, and he's thinking I'm still going through alcohol withdrawals, and everybody's like looking at my girl like, well, who the hell did you send to our house? Like, and Brian thought that I was still going through alcohol. He's like, this dude needs to be in a hospital. I'm like, no, this is just my life now. This is just me every day now, you know? Like, and then a couple days in, I tried to eat a can of soup. I tried to eat the soup. It damn near killed me. And everybody was like, well, you should listen to the doctor. But I got so tired of drinking those protein shakes, man. I was just like, it was so much vanilla. You know, my life was vanilla.
I like the chocolate ones.
I had a lot of vanilla.
I remember when that happened. Brian was actually telling me about this crazy guy in his house, and he's puking on the front lawn, but I didn't know at the time that was Panda. It was later on when he's like, you know a guy named Panda? And I was like, Jesus Christ, do I know a guy named Panda? Yes. But you going there, I think it was absolutely great, because if you went to Blake's house, you wouldn't have met these same people. You would have. I love Blake, and that's where I went. But these things happen for a reason. And you, I think, lucked out by not having to go to Blake's, because I don't think it would have been the same type of people with the same type of sobriety and the way.
The fact that there's a dog at the house.
See, that's another thing, and I think that's a good idea that he has, because it teaches people responsibility and to take care of something.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to leave that dog when I leave. I think I'm going to have to be like, yo, Hugh, let me get that dog. You know, because that dog loves me. I love that dog.
Just put it in a suitcase and wheel it out.
Yeah, you put a Doberman in the suitcase. she can't even hold her. She flails when you hold her. So, like, she's so awkward and has anxiety herself.
Got to fill her with Benadryl.
Oh, off topic. All right, but a Juggalo topic for a second. The new Faygo, the bubble pop Faygo, tastes like children's Benadryl. It's so good. It's so good.
The liquid Benadryl.
Yeah, you remember the one that came with that little spoon cup thing?
Yes.
Back the little pink liquid you used to drink? Yeah, it tastes just like that. I'll get you one.
That is fucking weird. Why? They probably did it on purpose because they know so many juggalos have been robo-tripping and everything like that.
It's supposed to taste like bubble gum, and I was like, it does taste like bubble gum, but my girlfriend was like, no, it tastes like that. Fuck.
Yeah, because that Benadryl is bubblegum flavor.
And that's exactly what it tastes like. I gave one to Brian. Brian was like, dude, this is awesome. I'm like, yeah. Brings back memories of when we were drinking cough syrup and shit.
Oh, my God. In jail, you fill out a paper saying you're sick, and they charge you $5, and you see the nurse. And someone had told me that they got cough medicine. So I filled out all this shit, basically saying I got the flu, all this stuff. And they tell me they're going to come back and give me meds. I'm expecting, like, NyQuil, Dayquil, some shit, just to catch a little buzz.
I used to get so happy when I would get sick, because I'm like, I get to drink NyQuil.
But when they finally gave me the medicine, it was the Sudafed-free fucking shit. Did absolutely nothing. I've talked about that before because my mom always had a good supply of like cold meds and assorted dog pills because she worked for a vet. And I think that's why I could function dope sick so much, because I love being sick, because it gave me an excuse to take Sudafed, Dayquil, NyQuil. There was another cough medicine that like DMT or whatever the fuck it is.
DXM or
Yes, that's it. There was a bunch of them. I found out on the internet in like the late 90s when AOL was still a thing and there was alt-doc drugs. And it would say, if you take 10 of these cough drops, it'll trip your balls off. So I immediately, in a snowstorm, go to the store and get them cough drops. And it worked.
I went to Job Corps and they had codeine cough drops. And I'd go in there, like, we'd send like 6 people in there at the same time to say we had sore throats. And I'd pay them a little bit. You get paid to be a Duggar, so I paid a little bit of money to go get the cough drops. And I'd take a bunch of them and I'd put it in a Sprite bottle and I'd shake it up like, we got lean now. That was like our own little, like, codeine cough drops and Sprite, you know. Ooh, I get my little purple drink. But I used to love NyQuil. I still love NyQuil, but I can't.
That was like always my thing, because if I was out of drugs, I could always take 10 Sudafed, and it would at least make me feel some way. Since I've been sick in recovery, and I was like, I'm going to do this the responsible way. I'm going to take it as directed. When I took Sudafed, I felt like garbage. Like I would never do it again, let alone on purpose. It made me feel so bad.
Did you ever abuse Corseed?
The Triple C?
Yeah.
No, I took it legitimately when I had the flu real bad, and I felt so retarded that I can't imagine taking the whole box.
Back in the day, we had this girl, all the homies were at the house, and we had a girl there that she needed a tampon, and it was snowing outside, and we all were like, dude, we could go to Walmart and steal a bunch of Triple C's and go get her tampon. So like 7 of us as a unit were buying 1 box of tampons, but all of our pockets were full of Triple C's. I took like 20 of them. It was great. Not really.
No, but I tripped on Dramamine.
Yeah.
Take 20 Dramamine. Oh my God. That's when I met the human-sized penguins in the 7-Eleven. They were standing in front of me in line, and my boys behind the counter. They're taking forever because they're fucking penguins. Their fingers don't work. And I'm just behind them watching, getting irritated. My boy's like, what are you doing?
It's too damn hot for a penguin to be just walking around here.
I'm 10 feet back, and I was like, I'm waiting for the penguins to finish. And like, I meant it, like, completely seriously. And he looked at me, he's like, you should probably go home. And then I went home, and I got pulled over because I saw a horse ramming its head into an electrical box, and the cop followed me home and told my mom I was on drugs. And when I woke up the next day to go deal with my mom, it turns out none of that happened. I imagined it all.
Yeah.
So Dramamine.
1
box. 1 good time.
I had a cop tell my mom that he thought I was on speed. What happened was, in the last podcast, I told you the story about Rage and Raina. And it was at her house, there was a girl that was my friend Brad's ex-girlfriend was at the house. He gets in the truck, says he's gonna go kill himself, drive off the bridge or whatever, and his mom pulls a gun on us. And she's like, you got 30 seconds to get all of her shit and get that bitch the fuck out of my house. So me and my buddy EJ are stuffing our pockets full of underwear, bras, stuff like that. When he peeled out, one of the neighbors called the cops. So we're walking with all of her stuff, and I got bra and underwear in my like thongs in my pocket. I'm only like 19 at the time. 5 squad cars pull up, and I'm drunk as piss. And I'm on the phone with my mom. My mom was staying at her house at the time, but I woke her up, said I need a ride to go to my buddy EJ's house. And the cops pull up, and I'm like, Mom, I'm on this street. Cops just got here. Get here fast. Cops are searching my pocket. And they're pulling out thongs and bras, and I'm laughing. And I don't know why, but when I'm drunk and a cop comes up to me, I turn into a comedian, and I don't shut up. I will annoy the crap out of the cop till he leaves me alone. I think that's why I got out of trouble so many times. Because I've taught the cops how to search in the car when there was Molly in the car. And when my mom pulls up, cop looks at my mom and says, I think he's on speed, you know? And my mom's like, he's probably just drunk.
I've seen you around for several years. You've been in several different halfway houses, 7 different recovery communities, I'd say.
Kicked out of most of them.
That's true. That's a good record to have. But I know something's different this time. Everyone has told me something's different with Panda. So what is it that's different this time?
Finally found a higher power in my understanding. And what happened was I had a sponsor before I moved to New Orleans this last time. Before I left, I had a sponsor, Tim, told me, make a list of attributes and qualities you want your higher power to have. And when I wrote those out, I had it on the paper. What I took from that was, because I always hear that God shows up through people. So in order for me to do God's will on a day-to-day basis, I need to act like what I want my higher power to be. So I got this list of qualities I want my higher power to have. Well, now I got to, now when I say implement the steps in my life, I want to implement these qualities and these morals into my life, and I want to act like what I think my God should be. So I treat people how I want my higher power to treat me, and in the end, I believe now that I need to leave every day better than it was when I got here. So when I show up to a situation or I show up to a meeting, I need to leave it looking better or feeling better than it was when I got here. That's why I always open my mouth whenever it's quiet in meetings. I always say something. Even if I don't plan it out, I'll just say it, and then if it touches one person in the room, I did something. I've been having people come up to me, like, I didn't even raise my hand to be a sponsor, and someone came up to me and was like, do we sponsor you? I was like, yeah, I got you. So it's like, I really got to say working with other alcoholics keeps it fresh, because I don't know why, but the only sponsees I've ever had were straight greenhorn newcomers, like people that have never done it before, and I've done it a lot. And I know I've done it in different ways. I've done the steps so many times, and this is the first time that I can say that I saw the results that they talk about in the book, where I have that ease and comfort about my day-to-day basis, and I just enjoy having a good time. And the one promise that I always speak about in the meetings now that's not in the big book is laughter. Because when you get sober, you laugh harder than you've ever laughed in your life. And if you can just continuously spread joy and be happy as you're going through your day, everything's good, man. If I can sit here and laugh about some shit that pissed me off, I'm good. I don't let nothing eat my lunch anymore. If somebody gets on my nerves or something, I just look at that person, and even if they're not an alcoholic, I just look, he's not living a spiritual life like I'm trying to, and that word spiritual continuously pops in my head, and I'm like, all right, I'm trying to do spiritually fit, whatever. I'm trying to do this life differently than I used to. So instead of flashing out or saying something that I'm going to regret saying, I don't say it. I just keep shut, and I just keep moving, man. I just put my headphones in, block out any negativity. If somebody wants to give me attitude, I'll just nod my head and be like, I'll just do what he said, because I had to make a paycheck. Because if I were to react to the situations like I normally would have, I would have lost this job a long time ago. And it's an easy job. I don't make much money, but it's an easy job. I have fun at work, talking to my coworker Jose, and we crack up all the time. And I have a girlfriend that's hilarious, so I'm always sending her pictures of like juice boxes and shit. She's like, "What kind of bitch you got? You bringing you juice boxes to work? Because I didn't pack that for you. It's funny." So like I just chase laughter and that God consciousness feeling now, man. And when I'm seeing that I'm slipping away from that spiritual principles I'm trying to live, if I see I'm backsliding a little bit, I focus, I say a quick little prayer in my head, and I pray that I become a tool instead of a child of God. I want to be a tool for my higher power. So I ask him to allow me to become a tool to carry out what your purpose for me might be. And every day I hear that I've helped somebody, and that's me doing my job. I don't necessarily like where I have to go to meetings, but I'm I'm a well-respected and loved individual today because I don't shut up. And normally I say good shit. Sometimes I say dumb shit, but I am a good, dumb person.
That's the best answer anyone's ever given. Hold on, I gotta pee.
Me too.
All right, I go first.
Well, pause it.
Yeah, it's probably good.
You ever heard of an app called TikTok?
I don't know how to do all that. Like, I need people to help. I need a TikTok person. I need an Instagram person. I need a Facebook person.
Well, you're dumb enough to go TikTok famous. I'll give you that.
Well, I don't understand what people do. Okay, I have a TikTok account. Now you're going to make me make new business cards. And the first thing I posted was a thing of me and Bryant, like something about us talking. And I was like, all right, I know how to post things now. Let's post something else. And I posted like 30 seconds of the Geo song. Instantly in trouble. Says violated community guidelines.
I've posted one video, and I got violated for community standards. And I figured out what it was. We said the word tranny instead of transgender. But this dude was on a tangent about how the frogs are making people transgender.
Of course.
It was hilarious.
You're making them frogs gay.
Yeah.
What do you think tap water is? It's a gay bomb, baby. I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Do you understand that?
Something about the water was making the frogs turn gay or something. It was hilarious.
So I went back and listened to all the lyrics, and I talked to somebody who's big into TikTok. And in the song, it says it's something about him being too skinny, but thanks to recovery, he's now our #1 guinea. And I think it was calling him too skinny. That's a violation.
You can't even say killed in TikTok. You have to say unalive.
Well, I didn't say anything like that. It was just the fact that calling someone too skinny, which was like actually a compliment for him. Like
For Geo.
I've been doing air conditioning since I was like 13, and I know I could go get a job somewhere doing it. It pays well enough for a habitual felon. But getting straight out of jail, this is my first time trying to stay sober and like trying to not get kicked out of the halfway house, even though I did accomplish that too. But because I knew there was tons of drugs in the AC world, tons of drugs in construction, but the truth is there's tons of drugs everywhere.
In the world, yeah.
I ended up getting a job with some people in recovery at a golf course, and it was the most opposite of anything I would do. I hate nature. I hate mowing grass. I hate cutting fucking branches. I hate fucking raking. I hate strapping a blower on my back. Hate all of it.
I hate raking. I'll let Jose.
I used to rake sand around the sand trap. And you gotta like rake it a certain direction. But when I started working there, I was there for like a week, got kicked out, went to Blake's, had this like epiphany that like I need to take this shit serious. And I promised myself I would work that job for a year. It paid almost minimum wage, but all I had to do was pay my rent and survive. And I made a commitment to do it a year. I did it exactly a year to a day before I left. And that job really helped me because one, I worked with people in recovery and we would spend all day talking about things and our problems and talking about, like you said, the laughter is the promise that I think we need the most. All of us, when we get together, we never stop laughing. I thought recovery is going to be so boring.
That's why I would show up to home groups so early just to fucking tell you how bad your coffee was, and I'd laugh.
And I'm still self-conscious about that coffee today.
Good, because your coffee's terrible.
There was a time when I was coming back from that horrible job, you know, I'm 40-something years old, riding a bike 3 miles each way, making minimum wage, hot as hell because we live in Florida. And I was coming over the bridge and I was coming down the hill and something just felt different. And it was like a moment that you were talking about earlier with your blower on. Things were just like
floating light. It was like light.
It's like everything's going to be okay. I'm not worried about, I might not have a lot of money, but financial insecurities will leave us. Everything was different.
I just don't know where I'd be without music.
Oh, yeah.
Like fucking, I listened to this dude named King ISO that I swear to you just keeps me going today. I'm plugging him. King ISO, man. He's
Spell it.
King ISO. It's all like mental health, and now he's getting sober, so he's rapping about that. It's great music, man. It keeps me going through my day, and then if I'm feeling really stabby, I'll put on ICP. But
yeah, I would spend the whole day at the golf course with my headphones in, and I think that's a very important part. And I can remember certain songs that I remember when I was getting high, or how miserable I was at that time when that song was, you know, getting played compared to today.
I have songs like that I listened to this one song for like a year and a half every morning on the way to the store. Literally, the hook was like, I never believed in myself and you will never believe in me. And I used to listen to that every morning going to get my beers and my schlitzes and my everything. And then I was jamming to it. I'm like, yeah, because I'll never do any shit in my life. And I was so happy to be a piece of shit. And now today I look at that song and when it comes on my Spotify, I still listen to that artist a lot, but I don't entertain that song anymore. I don't entertain a lot of the old stuff that I used to enjoy. because it brings me back into that old mindset where I was like, this is when I was burning my life to the ground. Because there's like Lil White and Jelly Roll, their album, I forget the name. It was one where they had the split face or whatever. I don't even listen to that album anymore. When that album came out, I was burning my life to the ground, and I was happy about doing it. I was so open to the idea of dying, and I wanted to die an alcoholic / drug addiction death. And dying didn't scare me, and it didn't bother me. And then now that I actually have a life worth living, and I enjoy my day to day, and I just have fun doing nothing, I don't want to die anymore. And I think the world's a lot better place with me in it. And I'm going to have to be there for my family when certain shit happens here soon. And I'm just glad that I was able to go home last week and I was able to show them the sober me, because they've never seen that. They've never seen me this before. You know, y'all have. Like, people in Florida know me, because I don't have any friends in Florida that use. I don't have not one. They're all drug addicts, but they're not using. They're not active drug addicts. They're all in recovery. And I think it's great that when I surround myself with people that are doing better for themselves and they want to see me do better, and it's like everybody pulling each other up. And whenever I start fucking up, yeah, y'all don't shoot me when I'm wounded, but y'all still accept me to come back. And the relapses never last long with me, because I forget that the guilt, shame, and remorse that comes from it really keeps me wanting to go. But when you're doing AA, and whatever your A is, it ruins getting high and drunk. It's not even fun anymore. It's like, what did I just do? I just flushed all that time down the toilet. Why did I do that? Sitting at the bar, pounding on the bar, wondering, how did I ever get started again?
That sounds familiar.
Doesn't it?
I used to listen to like Nas and 50 Cent, like old gangster rap, and I would hear the shit about drugs, selling coke and selling crack and shootings and all this stuff, and I'd be like, yeah, I'm part of this. This is my life. Right. And like looking back, almost all the drug stuff, it was like a cautionary tale trying to say like, this will ruin your life. This is a bad idea. This will get you shot. But back then I listened to it and be like, yeah, I hope I do get shot.
I was such a big Black Sabbath fan, dude. And they got that song, God is Dead, that I used to listen to religiously, which is fun. But I gotta mention it, Ozzy. He broke records with the amount of money that his final bow raised for charity, and I think that might have been his ticket into heaven, dude. Like, cause I love Ozzy. Ozzy was one of my favorites.
He paved the way for a lot of people to be drug addict rock stars.
Hell yeah, he did.
And he was entertaining. Like, even outside of music. He was such a big cultural icon. Like, of all the people that have died recently, famous people, which seems to be happening a lot. He was the one that, like, I stopped in my tracks, and I was like, oh, no.
I watched his show.
Yeah, on YouTube. I watched some of it, too.
I watched it, and I was like, dude, he can't even stand up. 2 weeks to the day that he performed that show, he died. And I was at work, and my girl texted me that Ozzy died, and I was like, that's probably a fake hoax or something. And then I looked at it, I was like, oh shit. And like, I dropped my phone, and I'm like, damn, that went out like a G.
Yeah.
Ozzy, man. Yeah, Black Sabbath paved the way for all these artists like Metallica and Pantera. And then Lamb of God did the cover for Children of the Grave and just killed it.
All the hardcore kids grew up listening to Black Sabbath and Misfits.
I love that Slayer came out of retirement to play that show.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, dude.
I didn't watch the whole thing.
I saw Ozzy and Black Sabbath's whole set, but I saw bits and pieces of everybody.
This is the first time I'm doing this, and it's tied into the iCloud on my computer. So this will be the big experiment to see if it's there and I don't have to transfer stuff anymore. You want to talk about some Juggalo shit? You don't have to, but since you're wearing the shirt.
If I'm not wearing my work clothes, I'm wearing something Juggalo.
I want the Juggalos to see this. The last guy I had, 2 guys ago, he's a Juggalo from Jacksonville. And that's how I kind of met him, through Brian. He lived at Artesian. And I introduced him, and I was like, and this guy is also a Juggalo. I can't believe how many Juggalos are in my life today. It blows my mind. And then we did the entire video and did not talk about being a Juggalo one time. Your shirt here, what does that say on it?
Juggalo family.
Oh. Which reminds me, my shirt says home is where the warrant is served. You see that? And you can find that at therecoveryidiot.com.
Plug.
So what shout outs would you have to give to the Juggalos who are struggling, or anybody who doesn't think that...
If a Juggalo sees this, I'm going to do this now. Stop hating on other Juggalos. Stop with the divide. Treat everybody equally like we used to. Bring it back. Bring that old school love back, because I think that everybody should, even if you're not a Juggalo or not, I think every human being deserves to be treated with the same honesty, reserve, and respect and love that every one of God's children is. It doesn't matter if you're a Juggalo, a misfit, a goth. It doesn't matter. I think you should be accepted regardless of who you are, what music you listen to, whatever you identify with, whatever sexuality you claim. I don't give a fuck. I think every one of God's children deserves to have the same respect and love given to them out of everybody. Stop the hate, stop the divide, bring back the family era. That's all I have to say about that.
Bam! Good job. I didn't know that was a Juggalo thing. Brian explained it to me, but...
It used to be unity amongst
Yes, they
outcasts.
put the unity in community.
Yeah, that's what it used to be. Now it's like if I even mention Dark Lotus or ICP or Twisted, I'm labeled a Juff. Which is funny that they call it a Juff because Jamie Madrox from Twisted was the one that said Juffalo in a Dark Lotus song, and now that is something that they call people that listen to Twisted. Like, oh, they're Juffs or Twizzlers, whatever. Look, the music, regardless on the artist that did it, it saved my life in a point in my life that I needed it. Doesn't matter what they're doing now. I don't agree with politics. I don't agree with certain things that people are doing and how they're moving. But the music did change the way I think, and it raised me to be a good person, and I think that is a miracle in itself. So stop hating, stop judging, and go back to loving.
That happens in every community once it gets to a certain level. It's like the recovery community, the DAA people. We finally grew into this thing, and then we grew so big that people started hating each other. And now there's the Bayshore crew, the alternatives crew, and nobody fucking goes to the same place anymore. And stupid.
I don't know if this actually happened, but I keep hearing about it at the gathering that happened last week. That someone had a water gun full of fentanyl, and he was hitting people with it. People kept ODing and shit.
What?
Yeah, because the year before when I went, we didn't have no overdose deaths, and this year people were being dropped left and right, having to get CPR done on them and shit. I haven't talked to Brian about it, but I just know what I've seen on all the groups I'm on and people that did go, and it was a shit show, man, and it was slam packed. I saw the videos, woo woo, but
damn,
it's just.
Oh, whoever did that needs to be dragged into the streets and beat for a while.
Someone got Juggalo justed, even though Juggalos were terrible at fighting this dude. It was a guy, I guess a guy apparently was videotaping girls in the shower, and they jumped them. And now the police are looking into that video, and everybody that's in that video is going to jail.
Ooh,
and stop filming the Juggalo justice. Let it just happen.
In today's viral world, everybody wants to record everything. But some stuff shouldn't be recorded. Like you idiots that TikTok shoplifting and stuff like that. You're morons.
When you put that fuck off for a week, I'm at the gathering post on your Facebook, don't pick up your phone. Just fucking have fun while you're there and leave that shit up there. That way, I'm going to say it. Stop blowing up the fucking porta potties at the gathering. You're going to make it to where they can't have the gathering there anymore. Well, you got them fireworks sitting over there. I was looking at them.
Oh, you mean actually blow it up?
Yeah. Well, the gathering hadn't even opened yet, and I already started seeing posts that there was one porta potty in the parking lot. Someone blew it up with a fucking M80.
Oh, that's not what I thought you meant.
No, I meant they're blowing them up with
literally blowing it up.
There's this dude, right? I don't agree with his music, and I'm not a fan of him, but I watched the video of his performance. They were throwing mortars at him. They were throwing balloons of piss at him, and he fucking finished his set. He finished the show, and he stayed for the whole gathering, and he had a blast. And fucking stop throwing shit at the people that want to hear us, man. I get it. Trash wars are fun, but I mean, I don't know, dude. I was so salty last year when Big J Okerson played at 1 o'clock in the morning. I wanted to see that show so bad, and I skipped the main stage to go see that show. Ouija Mac was on stage. I left to go. I don't really listen to Ouija Mac, but I went and got front row seats at the Big J show, and you could tell he tried to do a set, and everybody was screaming and throwing shit, and he wasn't even up there that long. Damn. They even had Violent J come out on stage to introduce him to hopefully maybe
calm everybody down.
Yeah, it didn't, because ICP can't fucking contain us. It's not Sarah's boyfriend's event like they've been saying. Fucking, it's the Juggalos. It's for us. It's not for them. And ICP could be dead and gone. We're still gonna find a reason to get together. We're gonna be old as fuck with fucking walkers.
Like Tony.
Hey, I just saw Tony at the gas station, and I was like, motherfucker. I love that shit. I just want to say, I moved to Florida to get away from meth, and I ran into Juggalos, and everybody's Juggalos, and everybody's sober. It's awesome, and anybody that knows who I am back home watching this, you can do it too. Because you know me. If you ever been to a show with me, you know that I've been kicked out of every fucking concert I've ever been to, and I always kick back. I always kick the back door in. I always get back in somehow.
Panda is one of the best examples of, if this guy can do it, anybody can do it. Because besides the drugs, besides the mental issues, besides the juggaloism, you're just a hard person to contain. And the fact that...
I think it's funny that even at the meetings now, my girl, she'll be like, you need to not do it. Don't do it. Because when they'll do How It Works, I balk. I say all that. I'm so loud. Or when they read more about alcoholism, when they say we're like men who have lost their legs, I always go, my legs! It's catching on. People are starting to do it, and I'm not the only lone person doing it anymore. But I like to have fun, man, and fucking.
Yes.
If we got to sit here for 10 minutes and listen to these readings, I'm gonna chime in and make people laugh because we have to hear it every night, and I'm there every night, so I'm gonna have my.
Absolutely, and the people now. There's not a lot of them, but there's a small group of people that bitch and complain. They bitch and complain about everything, but they're very anti the recovery idiot. because they say it violates traditions or blah, 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 which is absolutely not true. And I could go on forever about how stupid that is.
If we consider this an AA meeting.
It's not an AA meeting. That's the point.
Sure.
You're allowed to talk about...
I can see that how they say tradition, but we're not going off traditions and shit or whatever. This is just a podcast of people that have recovered from a hopeless state of mind and body, and they want to tell you some stories and make you laugh, maybe make you think.
And we want it to be appealing to the person still sick and suffering because it's funny. That was my point. The people that complain are the people in a meeting that refuse to laugh. The people in meetings that can't find whatever it is you say.
Change your tampon and shut the fuck up, crusty
Good
bitch.
point. Well, what's the point? Good point. Stupid shit like that. It's funny because it like breaks the monotony of the same meeting.
Oh, what is it? It's like describe. Like
BC.
Yeah, I'll be like, describe that shit. They don't like hearing that. But the Bach thing is definitely catching on.
Yes.
Because when I was in New Orleans, they were
At some of this we balked.
Bach. I love this shit.
But what we were saying before about the laughter being the promise, the having fun. The people that are complaining are the people that don't have fun. They're the people that, as you see at a meeting, and not even crack a smile because they're still fucking miserable.
The other day we were in a meeting a couple weeks ago, and Buddy said that if you want me to sponsor you, you're going to have to pay me for my time. And we were like, what the fuck did he just say? And I think he's banned from the hall now. I ain't seen him.
God, what an idiot. The humor, the laughter, everything. That's
It's the best part.
That's why we're here. That's why I can spend 4 hours at my meeting on Saturday night, because I go early, I stay late, because I'm having fun the whole fucking time. I can't finish a thought because I'm interacting with so many different people who want to talk about something, and it's all good.
But you're too cheap to go out to eat afterwards.
Absolutely. And I'm too tired. I want to be in bed by 10.
All you did was make some shitty coffee and read a fucking paper that said you were the secretary.
No, I'm not secretary anymore.
Well, I haven't been there.
I'm the treasurer.
They trust you with...
Well, they trusted Bryant with the money.
Well, I trust him. I'd give him my wallet. I don't know about you.
And now some wise words from Panda. And don't forget, home is where the warrant is served. Only on therecoveryed.com.
Only on the recovery. He's got cards, man. All right. So, if I was going to say anything to somebody that is just coming in or been in and out so many times, you're not going to be able to do it alone. We can't get sober because somebody wants us to. We can't get sober for our families. We can't get sober for our children. We can't get sober for our love. We have to do it because we've been broken enough to where we want to do it for ourselves. No human power can do it for you. You have to have something bigger than yourself. Yeah, having fellowship and having people's phone numbers to call whenever shit hits the fan is good. When your stomach flips and you feel like you need to pick up a drink or a drug and you call somebody to talk you off the ledge. But what happens when you're up at 2 a.m. and nobody picks up the phone? You're going to have something else to tap into that's not just a person. Like I said before, figure out what you want your higher power to be, write it out on paper, and become that. Don't think that it's going to show up. You have to be that. If you want your higher power to be forgiving and loving, then become forgiving and loving. Don't shoot the wounded. If somebody hits their head over the head with a hammer again, you welcome them back. Love everybody because I love you. And even if I don't know you, and if you're going through anything and you need help, I'm here. Find me. I'm not that hard if I'm the loudest person in the room. Say the prayer for anybody that you know that is struggling. And I do this every time they pray out of any meeting. I put my right foot into the circle for those who never made it into the room, that never got to see what we are doing. Always remember that the streets are always going to be undefeated. This shit's killing people. Drugs aren't drugs anymore. And alcohol is definitely a drug. And if you don't pick up, you don't get high. Thank you. That's all I have to say. Thank you for sharing.
And if nobody has told you today that they love you, there's always tomorrow.
If he gets 1,000 subscribers, I will boof an entire Faygo 2-liter. Call my bluff. There's this stuff called Astroglide. I hear good things.
There's 2,400 subscribers, so you got to do 2 bottles.
At the same time? All right, I'll do it.
It's a gay bomb, baby.
Thank you for watching The Recovery Idiot. Don't forget to like and subscribe and show your coworkers therecoveryidiot.com so they stop talking to you. Find the social medias and like, subscribe, swipe right, retweet, or whatever the fuck is required. If you have never been in the psych ward, are you really even an addict? Try harder next time. Whoop, whoop, humans. We are taking over.